Author is funded by the Pacific Northwest Writers Association, supporting writers from pen to publication since 1955. To learn more about the PNWA and their yearly conference, please go to pnwa.org. Hi, this is Bill Kenower of Author Magazine, and we're here at Third Place Books in Lake Forest Park with Cara Hoffman, author of So Much Pretty. Welcome to Author.
Thank you, Bill.
So, Cara, this book, in a way, it seems like, unless I misread something in your biography, is a kind of that full circle moment for you. You began your life in upstate New York, did you not? And you fled it,
Yeah.
from what I understand, and now you return to write about it.
Yes, it's true.
How was that?
It's interesting. It was, in a way, very simple because I was writing about something that I knew intimately, the landscape of a place that I grew up. And it was difficult because I was writing about a place that I knew intimately.
Right, because isn't it always one of the challenges when you write about something that you've been immersed in is as a writer, you almost know too much because now you can't tell it all.
Right.
You have to pick what you want to tell.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing, and I think a lot of folks, and I'm certainly no exception, when you're writing your first book, you want to put everything in it. You're thinking, this is my chance, this is my chance to talk about this and expose this and examine this and get this prose in. But really, you should have sort of more of a long view, which is this is the beginning, and you're going to write many other books. Interestingly enough, though, with I think with novel writing, you can say a lot more in many ways than you can as a journalist. I worked as a journalist upstate for quite a while, and I feel like I was able to do lots of investigating and lots of stories that I was interested in, but you can't tell as much or create as much of a scene as you can when you're doing it with novel writing.
But you liked eventually, obviously, you came and found journalism.
Yeah.
Without a high school degree, you were able to, obviously I assume just based on
kind of
moxie. I don't know how you do that.
Yeah. That's a nice word for it. I was living in Western New York, ended up staying there, and ended up getting a job at this small community newspaper. Went in and was like, I want to write for you. And the guy was like, you're qualified to deliver the newspaper. So why don't you try that out for a while? And it was kind of through begging and begging and begging for page space or to be able to cover something that I finally broke in. Actually, because someone was sick and couldn't cover a Teamsters strike. So I just completely lucked out. I got to do that. He let me take my son was very small at the time, and I took him with me. He would let me take him out.
Oh, this would make a great movie.
Yeah, kind of.
Starring Julia Roberts as the.
Yeah, it was kind of like that. Like I my son in the baby backpack, and
wow.
And I would go cover stuff. So I got extremely lucky having this editor, Joe Schmidt-Bauer, who was a fantastic guy and really like an anarchist, like a true sort of
right.
The creative
Every
spirit.
Conservative's nightmare of what a journalist actually is,
absolutely,
right?
Absolutely, in every way.
Right.
All about it, follow the money, don't trust any of the PR flag, go out and do it, you can do it, kid.
Right.
Like, what is this crap? Redo it. So everything that I learned about writing and about deadlines and all this stuff, I learned from him, and I didn't have any of that experience of going to journalism school or doing those things that people did. So in a way, it was really, by the seat of your pants kind of situation. In another way, it was kind of the best training you could get because he just, sink or swim.
You almost didn't have time to worry about it.
I didn't.
You just had to do it.
Yeah.
I know it's different than fiction, which is done in such privacy and is so personal, but I still think there must be some benefit in the experience of being read, of having to get used to the fact that your words are being read by other human beings, and whatever psychological effect that has on you, adjusting to that, because it's not nothing.
No, it's not nothing.
And you have, the first time you saw your words in print, it has to be, and to know and see someone holding that newspaper.
Right. Yeah, it was good. I mean, I went on from that paper to work at many other papers and to work at a daily and things like that. And the thing that you get used to is you get a very thick skin right away reporting, right? Because people don't want to talk to you first off, and
Right.
then you write stuff and people are infuriated with you, and you know they call the office and they threaten you and they do this and they do that, and you know, readers come from all kinds of different you know, sort of affiliations and have all kinds of different opinions. So you learn early on as a journalist not to care, right? You do it, you do the work. If you make a mistake, you correct it. But for the most part, you know, that's what it is.
So Much Pretty deals with community quite a bit, and
Yeah.
deals with sort of, I don't want to call it politics, but sort of the societal influence on the individual. Technically, you take an approach where you use several voices, including moving from first person to third person. I hear a lot of writing advice that drives me a little batty,
Yeah.
that always advises against this sort of thing.
Right.
You know, pick one and
Yep.
so on and so forth. So maybe you can speak to that. I thought it worked great.
Thank you.
It was effective.
Yep.
And obviously, if someone gave you that advice, you didn't listen to it. So maybe
No,
speak about that.
Nobody actually gave me that advice,
good.
interestingly enough. I wrote it that way. The character Stacy Flynn, who is an environmental journalist, is you know, the protagonist of the book. And I wrote the book that way because I wanted for readers to actually experience what that's like when you're a reporter, right? So you're getting multiple points of view, you're getting maybe different, you know, freedom of information reports, you're getting things coming from, you know, all over, different times, different dates on them, and they have to be put together.
Right.
This makes it sound like the book is like a, you know, totally fragmentary, which it's not.
No.
So I wanted to organize, at least have some sort of foundational thing where the book was organized, and the reader could feel a sense of how a reporter feels, and actually the excitement of how you feel as a reporter, where you realize, like, oh, you know, it's coming together, right? So you have Flynn in the setting and taking it in and understanding it, and then you have the events that happen in the book, you know, the abduction, the murder, etc., and then the other events that happen later, which I can't talk about. But the pace of the book increases, I think, through those different voices and the different fragmentary things that Flynn is uncovering. I mean, that was the main reason. And the other reason, I guess, is that you know, the heart of the book, one of the thematic hearts of the book is this discussion about denial. And so I think that the book is, the structure of the book also reflects that, in which here's some information, but you're not letting yourself get too close to it. Like,
Right.
that's where it stops, and that's where it stops. And so that builds as well. And I think it kind of mirrors the structure of denial, and people are, you know, deeply in denial.
Oh, I'd like you to finish this sentence for me.
Okay.
Okay? If writing has taught me anything, it has taught me what?
If writing has taught me anything, it has taught me patience.
Patience.
Yeah. Yeah. It took a long time for this book to become what it is.
And patience at the page itself, too? In other words, allowing yourself to wait through until you see what you need to see or hear what you need to hear, or just in the whole completion of it?
I think in the big picture, it's taught me patience.
Yeah.
I think I still need to work on
Oh.
the small picture there. Yeah.